Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's the author, and you're joining me for another edition of the Fast 15. As we do, we take no more than about 15 minutes to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of the books or the audiobooks, a couple of announcements, and that gets you going on your way. As you know, when life is lifing, yeah, that's all I can say when life is lifing. So, in that spirit, before we get into our topic, just a note, of course, for those of you where life is lifing a little bit extra, um, even though there are people that will go ahead and say that they don't care, there are people who in principle do, because we know that when people are in a better space physically, financially, mentally, spiritually, it not only helps that person, but it can help so many others. So if that sounds like you or someone you know, we are rooting for you. We are encouraging you to identify, hey, look, if you have access to professional help, if that's what it requires, then get the help you need. If you have to change up your routine or how you do stuff, please make sure to do so. On the flip side, we know there are people who are doing pretty well. So, of course, we celebrate you, we congratulate you, and feed off the positive energy for what's next. So that's our encouraging note and our acknowledging note. So in the theme of acknowledgement, we're going to go to 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1, 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. These are all interview-based, where people open up about what their biggest daily challenge is, and through the lens of the best practices they use in health and wellness, how they utilize their support network, how they've changed their way of thinking, and their faith. So these are definitely things that can be go-tos and just reminders in navigating through life's journey. So I'm going to read a selection from the first chapter. So reading the selection of the first chapter, 9 Stories of Faith, and here's a couple of things I'm going to pull from there. Part of what allows her to understand how to live with pain is her consistent reading of passages that speak to the matter at hand. Any of the passages she reads focus on the following principles and premises: living with pain, living with a life of meaning, understanding that life is full of joy and pain, taking joy in simple things. Here's another part. She is living a life where she understands what she is living with and what she needs to do, plain and simple. It's a life of having patience, understanding, having a broader view, and quite frankly, a life full of love, internal and external, and being in tune with who she is and whose she is. So the sections that I read from the first chapter are the testimony or the story of someone who's living with multiple sclerosis. Now, from what I've read, what I've heard, to say it's no joke is an understatement. And one of the takeaways is understanding, life is going to be full of twists and turns. We know that, and some of those twists and turns are going to be real heavy. But by the same token, just like we're doing here, we have to take a moment to pause, take a moment to kind of sort things out. And, one day at a time, one way at a time. And hopefully that's some of the takeaways that you got from, what we've talked about here. But definitely check out the book, 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. You can order it online, but if you aren't able to, definitely check out your independent bookstores, things along those lines. Okay, so after getting through our reading for the day, a couple of quick announcements. Upcoming events will include the Inspire Author Series. Shouts to the people who do that series. I've been fortunate to be a part of it. That will take place at the Winder Public Library on March 19th at 5:30 p.m. Make sure to check it out. March the 22nd, 11 a.m. at Redemptive Life Christian Fellowship. I'll be part of the Authors Roundtable that they're doing, so I'm blessed to be able to communicate and connect with some fellow amazing authors, so make sure to check that out. Carolina's International Book Festival, that will be the last weekend of April, so there'll be more info coming, as well as a few other things. Of course, shouts to everybody, every bookstore, book club, reader, fellow author, all those types of things who have been lending support. I sincerely thank you. In that spirit, in that note, of course, acknowledgement for Madu Bookstore, which their last chapter or their last day of being open was this past Sunday, March 15th. More than 30 years of being a great resource for authors, readers, things along those lines. So even though they've closed this chapter, we're looking forward to see what's next for them. So again, in this spirit, hopefully this is allowing you a chance to kind of pause, check up, check in, get the reboot and reset that you need to go about your day. Make sure to stay connected. Of course, continue blessings, well wishes, words of encouragement to all of you. And as we close out, just a reminder, whether small or big, a victory is a victory, whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Keep it victorious, keep it moving. All of you, take very good care. Look forward to seeing you again.